welcome to Spin the Wheel once again.
Yay, our favorite game.
Yay, yeah. This is like the follow-up from what we used to play, Spin the Bottle.
Yes, yes. And it's better than Wheel of Fortune.
Yes. And also, this one definitely has more depth.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of self-reflection, right?
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
let's see what comes up.
Okay.
What's one thing you've made more room for on purpose?
Wow. God. Yeah. It's what I call intentional discipleship.
Okay.
I believe that back in the day, before I made more room for him on purpose, it was by the way. His presence in my life was by the way, and mostly it was only when I needed him because I was in trouble or I needed a prayer answered. Yeah. Or like I told you before, I would compartmentalize our relationship. Like, okay lah, it's Sunday, I go to church, that 1 hour is yours. After that, lunch, I'm not so conscious of his presence, even though he is always there. Yeah, but I just chose to ignore him. And now it's so different. I've really opened my heart to him, that I've embraced him totally, that he is in every part of my life, every moment of my life. Yeah, and I feel guided. I feel protected. I feel graced and strengthened. In like if there is a challenge in the day, I know he's there to give me what I need to overcome it, to suffer through it. To feel the pain, to think about what there is to learn from this.
Yeah.
What's the take back? How can it make me better? Yeah, and how can I use this to make the world better? So it's God.
Okay. That's nice. Yeah, you told me that you have not broken the rhythm going to church. That's quite a feat.
Yeah.
And that's really, intentional and on purpose. It's really,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's really a choice. And the beauty of it is that he leaves it to us, to me, free will. If I force you, I treat you like a puppet and I make you, that's not really love.
Yeah.
But if you do it because you want to, then that's how he wants it to be. Do it because you want to, do you desire to do it?
Yeah. Next one. What part of your life is asking for more attention? Right at this moment, my dog.
Oh.
My aging dog. Really needing a lot more time, a lot more attention. And I think it's also, like, actually just a week ago, I thought he was going to go.
Oh.
He was anxious for about 2 days, just pacing and anxiety. And that's one of the signs when, the dog is going to go, right? And he's quite, I do expect him to go, but I just wasn't sure whether it was the time. And then he calmed down after that.
Okay.
But of course, I had sleepless night because he kept waking me up, like he needed attention constantly. And I would, like middle of the night, I'll take him out to go to the toilet. And then he'll just stand there, stare into space. I'm like, okay, come on, it's 4 a.m.
Oh my
Can you
gosh.
stop staring into space and come back home with me? And so he did that quite a bit. And then, so these days, because the good thing is I work from home, right? So I take him, nowadays I do have to take him down once every 2 hours. So I'm
Wow.
very regular. He just needs to get out.
Just get out.
He just gets anxious.
Okay.
For some reason, he'll start pacing.
Some anxiety.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he's very clingy.
Okay.
So I did some research on this, and apparently when a dog is going, I mean, this could take some time. They become very attached. It's almost like they want to their soul wants to connect with you, just, they don't want to leave, and there's some level of confusion. So he was quite disoriented during the 2 days. I thought, okay, anytime soon. But then after that, it was back to, it was kind of calm down, and then things were back to normal. But every 2 to 3 hours, he'll get that anxiety
feeling.
So I would just, let's go for a walk. So I'll take him. Then he comes down. He'll come back home. Then he'll lay down. It's fine. So at the moment, it's the dog. Yeah.
Okay. So he actually enjoys his walks. He still likes going out.
I don't know whether he enjoys it because he's just walking slowly.
Okay.
But I think taking him out just relieves the anxiety. And so like on the way there, we just might as well do his business and then look at things. And he comes to now, which he hasn't done before, he'll just stand there and just stare into space or watch people, or watch the vehicles. Like he likes to just watch. I know that's really strange.
Wow. It's like caregiving. Yeah. Just to an animal.
Yeah. So this is what's happening right now.
Okay.
So actually before this recording, I had to take him down, or else
he'll be pacing and he
won't leave us alone. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
But he's not incontinent, right?
No. Yeah. He's still. If he needs the toilet, he will let me know. So. So I do take him down. But it's more frequent now, I guess, because the bladder is weaker, and so I guess that's normal. He doesn't do it at home. He doesn't know how to do it at home.
Okay.
So so this is what's happening at the moment.
It's something you no longer feel the need to prove. What have I always needed to prove? That I'm right. That I'm always right. I guess with maturity and with intentional discipleship, I've come to a point where even though I know I'm right, if I can, I will choose to be kind rather than to be right. Yeah. So God knows. He knows everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what other people know or don't know about you.
Yeah.
He always knows. So to me, that's something that I am more aware of, and I'm able to, maybe in an argument, just like, it's fine, as long as it's not something that's damaging to my walk with him. It's fine because he knows.
Yeah. I find this sometimes a little bit gray. And I really have to look at the situation over and over again. So, for example, when, like, if you're in an argument, it's very clear that, it's just better to just keep quiet, no need to prove anything. That's obvious. But when it comes to other things, sometimes keeping, like, knowing that you have the information, and other people don't have that much of information, and you know that your information is maybe more valid, for lack of a better way of expressing this, more valid, and you want to share it with people, but you know that they may reject it out of their own fears or whatever. And sometimes I find this a little bit of I wouldn't call it a struggle, but I feel conflicted. Should I pursue this, press on and push for it, or should I just let it go? Because if I let it go, then it will impact their choices. You know, that will affect, especially when it comes to their health, or you know. But the thing is, when you push harder, other people will see it or perceive it as you trying to prove that you're right, when that's not your intention. Intention is to, like, hey, I have this
to help them, actually.
But it can be received wrongly.
Of course.
So that this is where I feel a bit conflicted. And I, you know, when you're talking about this, it's not so much about proving anything. It's more like
I think if it's something that there's, like I always say, there's only one truth. So if it's true, I will speak the truth, and if you don't accept it, I've said it, it's out there. So it's really up to whoever to what I would not do is like I'll just agree with you because it's just easy and convenient, and I don't want to be looked at as some weirdo or so militant about things. Then that becomes relativism. It's like, oh, you go with the flow, whatever that crowd is saying, you just say yes.
Sometimes in this kind of situation, circumstance, you just have to know when to stop.
Correct.
Before it escalates to something unpleasant, you know. It's not the intention, which is, you know, but it can happen sometimes, I feel.
And if people don't accept it, then that's on them. Just let it be.
Next one. Ooh. What's a moment? What's a moment you wish you had honored more fully? I can't think of any. I don't think I have anything that I've done where I regretted not doing enough. No, I can't think of any at the moment. Honored more fully. Maybe myself, in the sense of, well, it's not fair to also say that I don't honor my path. I do honor my path. I do what I do. So it's a hard one to answer. I don't.
I guess you do honor your life. You appreciate it, and you are aware of all the blessings, and you don't take it for granted.
I certainly don't. Grateful for that. Okay. Let's do one more.
Okay. What kind of? Are there different kinds of courage?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. Moral courage, then, I would say.
Okay.
It's like I said before, it's actually very hard to point out to people what is true. And it's very hard to resist just agreeing to be popular agreeing with people so that they accept you, so that they like you, and to win friends, and be popular. Nobody, just look at all the prophets in the Old Testament. Yeah, they suffered a lot. Look at Jesus, he was crucified. So nobody likes to be told of the truth. But I'm not afraid to say that anymore. I'm not afraid to stand up for what is right and good and true and what is of love. So I guess I'm practicing moral courage a lot more now.
Okay. What are you learning to do with your anger?
That's a good question for you, considering what you were talking about earlier.
I guess with all, going through the whole healing process, dealing with anger, dealing with angry people, all my life, right? And I've learned to process my anger without blaming, without attaching a story, without having to reason. If you're angry, you're angry, right? And just feel it and go through it and experience it without playing it out in my mind about why or who and what. Just feel the anger and allow the body to process it. And as the body processes it, I can feel the energy just leaving my being rather than harboring it and keeping it within my energy system or within my physical organs. And so this is what I've learned, and this is what I have practiced for a while. And so these days I cannot think when was the last time I was angry, like really angry. Like I haven't irritated, frustrated, of course, that happens. But like anger, no, I haven't. I cannot remember. But I think in my training, right, the self-training on how to process emotions, that has really, really helped. And this is my area of work, and this is what I teach people to do with the energies, within themselves, so that they don't keep it in the body. Once it's in the body and once it disrupts your whole entire system, it just makes you sick. So I learned a lot on how to handle, and I've also realized that children who were angry a lot is mainly frustration, because you don't have an outlet to express yourself and you don't know how, you're not given an opportunity to express. And that's why a lot of creative people tend to be angry a lot, as kids, right? Because you don't have, or your parents don't even know how to give you an outlet, right? They don't even know what is your creative. And so that's why we need to give kids a variety of like things to do to find the outlet, whether it's reading, writing, arts and crafts, or something has they do something to express themselves, then there'll be less of this frustration.
But I think you said the right word, processing it. That's not what most people would think to do when they are angry or sad or feeling whatever kind of extreme emotion, right? That you need to process it, you need to digest it, like food, that you take in.
Our stomach has this powerful ability to digest emotions, And, when I work with clients, right, and when there's too much going on for them, I can actually feel the energy transference in my own digestive system. Then after they leave, I literally have to digest it. Like, I have to sit with it and process it. So I drink a lot of ginger water. I drink of like things. I use oils and things that helps with digestion. Because if not, I feel very full without eating.
Right.
Other people's stuff.
Oh my gosh. It's like really literally offloading onto you.
Yeah.
And you feel like bloated and you have indigestion.
Yes.
Emotional indigestion.
Yeah. So then I would have to digest, clear it, process it, and see what's not mine, and then just release. And so stay with the energy and not try to run from it. I think our instinct is to run.
Yeah, or just ignore.
Yeah.
Pretend it's not there.
I think the ignoring one is
hoping it'll go away on its own.
Yeah, but it doesn't, right? Yeah, it doesn't. And this is something I want to teach people, right? I always tell them, it's not going to go away. And they say, oh, but I need to think harder. I say, no, it's just you need to feel, not think harder. So, I think people just need to, it should be part of our learning when we were in school as kids. But we were not taught this at all.
Yeah. Actually, it should be a subject in school. Yeah. Dealing with your emotions.
How to process.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Wow. Because there's this new therapy called fecal something, where they take the fecal matter of a healthy person, healthy as in physically, mentally, emotionally, and they turn it into medication for someone who is messed up, whether physically or mentally or whatever, and it works, It's it's a medical thing that I think Glen Eagles has started a center doing it. Yeah, so it's a new therapy using fecal matter of healthy people. Yeah, very balanced, healthy people. Yes, but of course it's not poo that you take. It's made into like a capsule of sorts.
Yeah.
Totally clean. Yeah. But like you say, everything is in the gut. Everything is happening, the good and the bad, right? Yeah.
But these days, where do you actually find healthy people who are found healthy people?
True. Yeah.
Difficult to find.
There was this woman who wrote about this therapy. She went on some experimental trial, and they gave her brother's fecal matter in the tablet form. He's physically healthy, but he is off and on depressive. So when she took his fecal matter, she became depressive,
Wow.
Yeah, like her health improved, but mentally she became depressive. So you really become that person.
Yeah.
So they have to choose their subjects very, very carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's the bacteria and all that, right? Like there's this thing where people are always saying how which doctor, I cannot remember his name, he was saying that if you touch people who are ill, like you are a caregiver, like you push someone's wheelchair, the whole thing is actually covered with very bad energy.
Right.
Even bacteria is all that. It's not life-giving, put it that way. And so after you touch these things, you actually have to wash yourself. Wash it all off. And
it's like a vibe, right?
Yeah, it's the vibe, it's the bacteria, it's the germs, it's everything, right? That affects your whole being, your skin, your guts. So people who work in hospitals really got to clean themselves.
Oh, wow.
But if you hang out with, like, let's say you happen to walk past this group of people who just came out of the gym, and they're all sweaty.
The endorphins, right?
And they're all sweaty, but all their germs and their whatever,
it's good germs
for you.